Train the muscles, not the joints.
All right, well, welcome to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a workout in the garage and just talk to you as I go. I'm just going to do a little bit of workout. I'm not going to do a big workout. I'm not doing my full workout today, but I'm going to do, some sets and chat to you guys as I'm doing some sets, and maybe you'll, get the play-by-play and then understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And yeah, that's about it. I might put some other clips in between. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. But right now, you're going to learn a little bit about what I'm doing and by actually watching. I know it's a crazy concept, right? Rather than just talking about stuff, I'm actually going to do something. It's like so non-snowflakey, strange. So yeah, first I'm going to do some bench. Like I've told you guys before, I'm doing a little bit of a medium grip right now. And usually I grip at about out here. Right? Usually I'm out here when I grip when I bench, but lately I've been doing something different. I've been going a little narrower. So hopefully the audio is not too messed up here because I got my microphone on here and it's not too distracting for you guys. I do have to have a little bit of an offset grip because my bench is a little bit on a decline, even though I've tried to level it out as best I can. And then also one of my shoulders is pushed forward a bit. So just bear with me. But yeah, here we go. Medium grip. All right, let's move up and weight. See, sometimes I'll stretch the delts out a little bit like this after doing a set of light, just to make sure that my delts are ready for movement. Okay. Now I'm definitely getting more, getting some delt in a different part of the lift, and I'm getting more tricep, but I'm definitely getting some chest in a different way, than the wide. So that's why it's good to vary up the grip. I could do more weight, more reps with a wider grip, but I'm just playing around, right? Try to make this shit interesting. Now, before this workout, I haven't eaten at all, and usually I will eat, right? Usually I'll eat some chicken salad or something like that. But in that case, sometimes I'll take something like this, like the Super Amino 23s. So I just remembered that I had a few more left in my truck or whatever, so I just went and grabbed them and just took like 6 of them, right? So the thing is, these are not normal amino acids. They're in the MAP, I believe it's the MAP 23 system or whatever. It's the perfect ratio to make sure that you recover. I'll put a link in the description if you want to try them out. There's 50 bucks off or whatever, but I'm not paid by this company or anything like that. I do make a small commission if you buy some, but I am using them, just especially in times like now, like say I forget to eat or I don't have time to eat or something like that, and I need some protein to feed the muscle, then that's what I'll do, right? And a lot of times I'm out filming on location or I'm out somewhere and I don't have access to food. So in that case, then I'll take something like this to make sure that my nitrogen balance stays positive, right? And that's important, right? Because you don't want to go catabolic. If you go catabolic, then your body starts eating its own muscle tissue, and that's not an ideal circumstance, especially for us natural bodybuilders who have a hard time, you know, just getting muscle in the first place. You don't want to lose it, right? So anyway, that's something to consider if you want. Let's do another set here. It is weird bench pressing medium grip though, for me. I have to say, it's something that it's going to take me a little bit to get used to, but it feels different, so that's the whole point. Try a different angle, hey? A little bit of a different angle. Hey? It's a Spielberg shit right here, hey? Spielberg. All right, that's done. That does it for benches. It's good. Good pump. Now, it's important to note that I don't bend over to parallel to the floor. Most of you guys have been around here, you know that when I do bend over rows, because I find that I include a lot more back, a lot more lats, and a lot more of the main prime movers of the back when I am at basically a 30 to 45 degree angle, depending on the weight I'm using. But if I bend over all the way, I start noticing it's more arms, and then the lower back fatigue plays more of a role in the failure of the set instead of the lats. And the lats, because they move in an angle like this, it makes sense for the bar to travel like this. But if the bar's coming straight back, I'm working more rear delts. So when I'm bent straight over, the bar is moving more straight back and forth. There's not as much of an arc, and it's not as natural for the lat to be activated. So that's why Dorian Yates used to do it this way. It just depends on personal preference and also how you're built. But all I'm going to say is that if your lower back is fatiguing or your rear delts are fatiguing before your lats do, you're going to be missing out on some massive back gains, right? Mountain. He's like a mountain. Your love is like a mountain. I know let's do a few sets of triceps here. That's some skull crusher. Does help if you get the same weights. That's a pro tip right there. Grab the same size dumbbells. That's a pro tip. Only on naturalgallantbodybuilding.com do you get pro tips like this. When bench pressing with dumbbells, doing triceps, always get the same dumbbells. Okay, first of all, before I do this set of triceps, I just want to just clear up something right now. I just want to clear up something. That's not my bike. You see that thing right there? That's not my bike. So stop busting my chops about my bike, all right? Hopefully I didn't leave any protein bars in the basket. I mean, it's not my bike. Man, my bike looks pretty. Camera's not on, right? Yes. Okay, good. Couldn't lock out those last ones. All right. Mountain. So one thing I'm noticing in my workout today, I've been doing in my diet actually a little bit of lower carb, not low, but lower carb, practically no starch. Like maybe some of the carbs I'm getting is from lactose and some yogurt with some fruit or something. And basically what I'm doing is mostly fat, green, and protein right now. And I'm noticing that my pump is significantly better. And I'm noticing that my arms and everything feel better, my chest, everything. So this is something to consider when you choose what you're doing with your diet. If you notice that you're feeling flat all the time, maybe you need to switch from high carb to low carb and then more protein and fats, or vice versa, because the opposite can also be true. So because I have a tendency to sometimes do carbs and low fat for a long period of time, I notice that I start to almost become desensitized to the carbs. So that's one thing I'm noticing right now, is that I've basically felt a much bigger pump. I'm still out of breath from all the blood going everywhere. And yeah, it's definitely something to experiment with. It might also be just because my protein intake naturally goes higher when I'm on a lower carb diet and I'm using fats for my primary fuel source. So that's another thing to consider. But again, and I've said this in the video that I'm gonna put up, or maybe I've already put it up, just make sure if you're gonna use the fats, or at least for me anyway, I noticed that if you cook with fats or cook with oils and stuff, that's a totally different experience than using raw extra virgin organic olive oil or flaxseed oil or that sort of thing cold on your salads and stuff. The mistake some people make, I think, is that they cook with the wrong type of fat, or they assume that a cooked fat is the same as a non-cooked fat. And that might be true to some saturated fats, but I still notice the structure changes with stuff even like olive oil, which has a high level of monounsaturated fat, which is not supposed to be so easily destructible in heat. But if I fry with that shit or even bake with it, I don't get the same feeling from it at all. I started to get digestive issues and burping and all that kind of stuff. So one thing's for sure is I noticed that raw fats are better for me in a lot of cases than any sort of cooked fats, unless of course the cooked fat comes from meat, you know, a natural source like, you know, like steak or something like that, right? So anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the workout. Hope you enjoyed watching me just clang around in here. I'm gonna do a few more sets of some other stuff later on today, but right now I gotta go film in the park for you guys. And you guys are a demanding crowd, all like 3 or 4 of you. Fucking demanding. I'm always out there filming and stuff, and yeah, I gotta get out there while the sun's shining, you know what I'm saying? Motion.